I had been a professional animal communicator for 3 years when my 13-year-old Australian Shepherd told me that she had 2 weeks to live. We were at the front door of my house getting ready to go to an acupuncture session because she was kind of old and crickety. And she said, Nope, I only have 2 weeks to live. I don't want to go. And I was dumbstruck, I was floored, and I was devastated. And in fact, in that moment, I seriously had the thought, how will I breathe if you're not here? Um, and then 2 weeks later, she passed away. The evening after she passed, she came to me in spirit form and we connected as if we were in person. It was one of the greatest experiences of my whole life. And I want you to have the opportunity to have that kind of connection with your beloved pet who has passed on. So, in this episode of Animal Communication with Dr. Cara, either the podcast or the YouTube channel, I'm going to share my simple system for connecting with your beloved pet who has passed on. This system is what works for me. It's worked for hundreds of my students. Some of them are aspiring animal communicators, and most of them aren't. Most of them are simply animal lovers who were grieving the loss of their beloved family member and just wanted that connection. And these are the exact steps that I use to walk people through their own connection and their own conversation with their beloved pets who have passed in my Connect with Your Pet Angel class. And I've had hundreds and hundreds of people take that class successfully. And they have found peace after they had to say goodbye to their beloved pet. So I want to share that system with you today. If you don't know who I am, I'm Dr. Cara. I'm a professional animal communicator, founder of the Animal Communicator Academy, and founding president of the International Professional Animal Communicators Association. And this is obviously work that is near and dear to my heart. And this particular topic is, I think, for me, having that conversation with my dog Aiko before she passed was the most significant achievement for me as an animal communicator. It was the most important one, it was the most meaningful one. And it opened up a door for us to communicate that just it hadn't been there before. It was a breakthrough. And so I was able to communicate with her so much more easily after that. I don't know what happened that made that happen in that moment, but I was able to communicate messages to her from my kids and my husband, and messages from her to my kids and my husband and to myself before she passed. And it really helped our whole process of grieving. And then to have her visit me after she passed, and she was just so at the end, she was very slow, very tired, very stiff. And so when she came to me that night in spirit, after she passed out of her body, she was young and she was vibrant and energetic and joyful. And she was a very, I would say she was a complex dog. Like she was not just a happy-go-lucky dog. She was a very thoughtful, very purposeful, very intentional, very thinking kind of dog. I mean, she's an Australian Shepherd. She thought about things a lot. She'd take things into consideration and give them due process. And so when I got to connect with her in that incredibly special way where I had already forgotten, because it had been kind of a slow decline for her at the end of her life. And I had kind of forgotten that we used to throw balls up in the air and she would jump, up to head height to catch the tennis balls in the air in the backyard on the grass, and all of these things that we used to do together that I hadn't thought about in years. And it was just so amazingly healing for me to have that direct connection with her and know that it was her. Intellectually, because I was an animal communicator and I had communicated with so many animals who had passed before Aiko passed, I knew that she was okay, that she was taken care of, that all those things. I didn't have worry that she was holding a grudge or angry or, upset, or we had been holding her back. None of that was part of it. But it was still so healing for me to have that direct connection with her, that direct experience of her energy and her personality. And I don't know, at this point, I can't remember. It's been almost 13 years since she passed, but I don't remember the specifics of any conversation we might have had that night, but I do remember the feeling. And even though I still went through a grieving process, I was always uplifted by knowing in my body that she was okay and we were still connected. So this is the system that works for me. And if you're doubting that this is, it's like, well, it sounds like it's just a simple system, it can't work for me. I want to share about my student Glenda. She was also very skeptical. She was one of my students in animal communication, and she was having a rough time. And she thought that she wouldn't be able to connect, that she wouldn't be successful. And so she went into this kind of not expecting much. And she said, I was totally amazed. My dog gave me messages of what his purpose was, and I can totally understand what he said. In fact, he yelled his message to me about my life going forward, and I actually heard it with my ears. He also gave me a message for somebody else. And she says, this makes me totally hopeful that I'll be able to communicate with all animals in the future. It was a wonderful class. Thank you so much. So it's okay to not feel 100% confident, but I'm going to invite you to give it a try. Keep an open mind. I'm going to give you the 10 steps. You can go through the process on your own in your own time. And before you start, there's a little bit of preparation that I want to invite you to do. Number one, have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil handy so that you can take notes. Choose a comfortable place like a comfy chair or even a bed or a yoga mat, however is more comfortable for you to relax. Choose a quiet, relaxed time when you won't be disturbed. I had very early in my career a pet mediumship session. So I was communicating with my client's dog who had passed. And this dog told my client to go sit in the chair they used to sit in together every evening in order to kind of make it easier for her to connect with the dog who had passed. So I want to offer that suggestion to you as well of if there's a special place where you were connecting with your pet, spending a lot of time with your pet, and it's accessible and it's comfortable for you and you can go there, then this is even more effective if you go to that place that kind of holds the energetic imprint of your connection. It just kind of makes a little bridge. It makes things a little bit easier to connect. So if you have a special place, go there, but whatever you can do, do it. And it's also helpful if you identify a few questions up front that you plan to ask. So I really suggest that you start with simple, open-ended questions like, how are you? Where are you? What are you doing now? Do you ever come and visit me? How will I know if you're near me? Those kinds of things, that are not super emotionally charged, like, are you mad at me? Don't start with, are you mad at me? Right? Start with something that is a little bit lower stakes, a little bit less emotional, a little easier, because this process is really about us getting into the receptive state. And so if we kind of trigger our emotional response inside ourselves, we're just less likely to receive what's being sent. So even if our pet is communicating with us, is connecting with us, we're less likely to be aware of it if inside ourselves we're in, some strong emotions. So what we want to do is create the conditions that are really calming and soothing and relaxing for us so that we have the best chance of being aware of that connection and that communication. So here are the 10 steps to connecting with your pet who has passed. So, number one, get comfortable, of course, and begin to breathe slowly in and out through your heart. I like to breathe in to a count of 6, breathe out to a count of 6, and imagine your breath going in and out through your heart center. Step number two, ground yourself in whatever is your favorite way to ground yourself. You can imagine that your feet have roots going into the earth. You can imagine that you have a heavy tail that's weighing you down. You can imagine that you have a grounding cord from your body, like I do it from my first chakra, all the way to the middle of the planet. Whatever helps you feel grounded and connected and rooted and anchored is good. So go with whatever feels really good for you. Take your time, keep breathing calmly and slowly. And then when you feel really relaxed, step 3 is to imagine that you're in your favorite place in nature and just go there and just be there and notice what you notice. Invoke all of your senses. What do you feel or see or hear? What is it like? Is it warm? Is it sunny? Is it shadowy? Are you in the trees? Are you at the beach? Wherever you are, just really spend some time being there, evoking all of those feelings of your favorite place. And then when you feel ready, step 4 is to follow the path that appears in front of you through this landscape to your sacred place. And that is where you're going to meet your pet. So you're going to follow this path, knowing that it's leading you to the sacred place where you're going to connect with your pet. When you get to that sacred place, step number 5 is to send an invitation to your pet to join you with your heart and your intention. So using your love, using your intention, just kind of broadcast, send that invitation to the pet that you would like to connect with. And then relax, breathe slowly. This is step 6, is to just allow, become aware of how open and receptive you are, and be patient and monitor all of your senses. So just slowing down and noticing what you notice. And just go into a timeless place here, right? So you're just like, okay, I sent the invitation. Let's see how long it takes for a response. At some point, you will sense that your pet has joined you. And I don't know how you're going to know that. You might feel something, you might see something, you might hear something, you might just know that they're there. It doesn't matter. When you get a message or a cue that your pet is there, that's when you can begin your conversation. Welcome your pet, tell them how much you love them, ask your questions, and just spend time together in that sacred space as long as you want. And I really encourage you to take your time, to go slowly, and to monitor all of your intuitive senses, because you don't know which sense might be picking something up. So listening, seeing, feeling, all of that could show up. You never know. After you've had this beautiful time with your pet and you're ready, step 8 is to begin to close the session. So ask your pet if she or he has any final messages or a feeling to share with you. And then wait for a response. See if anything shows up. Sometimes there's nothing. That's okay. But just ask if there's anything. And then step number 9 is to thank your pet angel for their visit and allow his or her energy to return to its source. So wherever your pet was when they came to connect with you, just simply allow them to return to wherever that was. The 10th and final step is to return your awareness to your body. So just really, call back your energy, because when we do these kinds of activities, our energy gets very broad and expansive. And it's really important to bring that energy back to our physical body. So bring your awareness back into your body. Maybe jot down some notes while you're still feeling pretty relaxed, and then transition back into regular physical awareness by wiggling your toes or stretching your arms or moving your legs, becoming aware of your breathing again. Bring your focus to your physical body. And that's it. Those are the 10 steps. And they are the steps that really, really work. It sounds kind of simple when you just kind of put them out in a numbered list like that. But when you're in the process, it's very relaxing, it's very heart opening, it's very intuition enhancing, and it has worked for literally hundreds of people in my Connect with Your Pet Angel class. I know this process works, and I really hope that you will try it for yourself. In case you need a little bit of encouragement, now that you know what the system is, I want to let you know what Kathy said when she took this class. She said, during the class, I connected with my horse, Elite. I had a huge release of the guilt I was feeling, and I'm at peace now. This class was perfect. So there's so much healing that can happen when we allow ourselves to do this work. Mickey says, oh my gosh, Cara, I had quite an experience with my dog Joy. And I know Mickey had been really grieving the loss of Joy for a long time before she did this process. And she says, besides the wonder and awe and beauty of talking with her, this experience also worked into lessons of self-love. And she says, gosh, the fact that these two amazing and beautiful beings are willing to stay with me, one in physical form, one in spirit form, wow, it's really humbling. But it must mean that I am worth something. If I'm worthy of their love, then I'm worthy of my love. So, what an amazing gift to get from a simple process like this. Thank you for that class and the guided communication, which was simple and clear but profound. I felt really confident it was her and not my imagination. Hugs and love from Mickey. So I just want to reinforce for you that this is possible for you. And when you try this process, please let me know how it goes. Some people only get vague impressions. Some people get words, feelings, images. Sometimes it's one thing and then it switches to something else. It's really different for everyone, and it's different every time. So you might be surprised by the messages that your pet angels have for you. They can be profound, unexpected, healing, amusing. Like, there's just no limit to the ways that our pets can show up for us and the ways that these conversations and connections can go. If you want me to walk you through the process, the Connect Your Pet Angel class is available on demand, and I will walk you through the process directly whenever you want. You can sign up at the link in the show notes or in the description. And just one more story from Glenn, who became an animal communicator because his dog Thunder, who was a German Shepherd, was so pivotal in his life. Such an important loved one in his family. They were so tight and so connected, and it was really Thunder's passing that really inspired Glenn to become an animal communicator. And very early in that process, he took this Connect with Your Pet Angel class. And he said, I love the class. It was wonderful being with my beloved Thunder. And now I know how to connect again. I feel so blessed. Thank you. And that's the beauty of it. It's not limited to one time. You can do this yourself, and you have what you need now to do that. If you are an aspiring animal communicator, come and join me in the Animal Communicator Academy. You can get more information at caragubbins.com/ACA. I'd love to be your mentor. And I wish you all the best with your connection with your beloved pet angel. Have a beautiful day.